Hello there, very good evening and welcome to the news tonight where we get you through the top stories of the day. I'm Tracy Shilshi and here are the headlines. Top leaders of the Congress slam Prime Minister Narendra Modi for the demonetisation issue. Participants at the party's Jan Vedna rally described the note ban as a gigantic scam and a blow to the employable generation. Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi accuses NDA government of unleashing climate of fear across the country. BJP calls it a reaction of a frustrated and a depressed man. Samajwadi Party factions fail to resolve their differences, though party patriarch Mulayam Singh Yadav insists that the party will remain united. India targets the UN Security Council, says it represents a small minority of the world's population and is not effective in addressing current challenges of conflict prevention and sustaining peace. And the outgoing US President Barack Obama delivers an emotional farewell address to the nation, describes accomplishments of the last 8 years and insists that his work isn't over yet. Our top story this evening, Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi singled out Prime Minister Narendra Modi for the demonetisation exercise that he said had heaped untold hardships on the common man. Addressing the Jan Vedna Sammelan of the Congress in the national capital, he alleged that the note ban decision had been a personal one of Narendra Modi. Accusing the ruling party of unleashing a climate of fear, Rahul Gandhi exhorted his party workers to counter it. He also accused the BJP of weakening national institutions. The Congress Vice President highlighted several shortcomings in the NDA government's 2.5-year rule, saying that Modi's promise of Achhe Din will only be realized when the Congress returns to power. Reacting to Rahul Gandhi's remarks, the BJP said that he was becoming a spokesperson for those with black money. The party also claimed that the whole country today was backing the PM in the war against black money.
ये दो फिलॉसफीज की लड़ाई है। एक फिलॉसफी कांग्रेस पार्टी की फिलॉसफी कहती है डरो मत, और दूसरी फिलॉसफी कहती है डरो और डराओ। डिमोनेटाइजेशन का मैसेज क्या है मैं बताता हूं। हिंदुस्तान के देशवासियों, आपका भविष्य नरेंद्र मोदी के हाथ में है। सिर्फ नरेंद्र मोदी जी के हाथ में और किसी के हाथ में नहीं। For the first time in our history, a Prime Minister of India is being ridiculed the world over.
ये ऐसी आलोचना करना, कुछ ना कुछ बेकार आरोप करना, उसमें कोई मतलब नहीं है. What is the scam in this? There is nothing. This is openly done, transparent, and then everybody has been asked to account for the money they have. Where is the scam? The Congress party is worried about the growing popularity of Sri Narendra Bhai Modi.
And top leaders of the Congress party as well came together to criticize the demonetisation exercise of the Modi government, describing the initiative as being ill-advised. Many leaders, including the former Prime Minister Manmohan Singh and former Finance Minister P. Chidambaram, said that far from the common man's hardships being over, the worst is yet to come.
The one-day Jan Vedna conclave of the Congress party on Wednesday saw top leaders of the party going all out against the Prime Minister Narendra Modi on the issue of demonetisation. While former Prime Minister Manmohan Singh termed demonetisation as a disaster, saying it has hit the employment generation, leader of opposition in the upper house, Ghulam Nabi Azad, categorized it as the biggest scam in India's history.
What a disaster this demonetisation move was. It has hurt the country very badly. The things have gone from bad to worse in the last 2 months, but I venture to think that the worst is yet to come.
कि अब दुनिया का सबसे बड़ा स्कैम ये नोटबंदी है। ये सबसे बड़ा स्कैम है। जब भी इसकी इंक्वायरी होगी, कैसे इंक्वायरी होगी, कब होगी, लेकिन आज मैं ये दावे से कहता हूं कि दुनिया का सबसे बड़ा स्कैम
Former Finance Minister P. Chidambaram also pointed out the flaws in the note ban decision and raised a question on the cabinet meeting held on 8th of November. General Secretary of the party, Ahmed Patel, also termed the leaders of the ruling party as arrogant.
The RBI could not have recommended remonetization. How is the cabinet waiting? RBI's recommendation comes to the cabinet. And I'm going to tell you something. According to the records that we have been able to access so far, there is no record of a cabinet meeting.
आज एक ऐसी सरकार सत्ता में है कि जिनके लोगों में एक अहंकार है, एक घमंड है, और जैसे समझ रहे हैं कि सत्ता में आए हैं तो कभी सत्ता से जाएंगे ही नहीं.
The Congress party also released a booklet on the issue of demonetisation and paid homage to those whom the party alleged died due to the decision. Vishal Dahiya, Rajya Sabha TV, Delhi.
On to Uttar Pradesh now, where Mulayam Singh Yadav on Wednesday addressed the Samajwadi Party workers at the SP headquarters in Lucknow. The party patriarch asserted that Samajwadi Party will not be allowed to split. Meanwhile, the impasse between the father and son over who controls the party and its symbol continues.
Insisting that his party won't split despite his talks with Akhilesh Yadav failing to produce a truce, Samajwadi Party patriarch Mulayam Singh Yadav claimed that his supporters are not forming another party or changing its symbol.
वो पूरा का पूरा देश का अब मेरे पास क्या है, मेरे पास आप लोग हैं, हम लोग आजीवन रहेंगे. कार्यकर्ता हमने पूरा भरोसा है कि पार्टी की एक रहेगी, पार्टी को नहीं. सम्राट मुलायम सिंह, अपने पुत्र मुलायम सिंह देखा पड़ी कर रहे हो, न तो समाजवादी पार्टी नाम बन रही और नाम बन रही.
Mulayam said he had founded the party during the emergency years in the 70s when his son was just 2 years old. He also blamed his cousin and close Akhilesh aide Ram Gopal Yadav for instigating a split, even as he remains soft on his son. Meanwhile, Chief Minister Akhilesh Yadav continued to meet senior leaders and party workers at his official residence. His supporters are busy crafting the election strategy.
कुछ लोग नेताजी के अगल बगल नेताजी को भड़काने का काम कर रहे हैं, दिग्भ्रमित करने का काम कर रहे हैं. नेताजी अपनी विरासत सौंप चुके हैं. 2012 में जब अखिलेश जी ने रथ यात्रा इतनी लंबी चलाई थी और पूर्ण बहुमत लेके आए थे, तो नेताजी ने कहा था कि मैं आज ये पार्टी युवाओं को समर्पित कर रहा हूं. और उसी कड़ी के तहत माननीय हमारे शीर्ष नेतृत्व ने मिल बैठकर अखिलेश जी को मुख्यमंत्री बना दिया था.
On the ground, however, Samajwadi Party supporters appeared puzzled, even as they continued to express support for the rival factions. The Election Commission will hold its first meeting on the dispute related to the party's symbol, the bicycle, and the leadership on Friday. Both factions, led by Mulayam Singh Yadav and Akhilesh Yadav, have rebutted each other's claims on the control of the party and its election symbol.
At a time when election strategy should be finalized and supporters should be galvanized, the Samajwadi Party's battle for symbol is also not over. Even if the two warring factions put up a united front, it would be difficult to douse the dissent that has escalated within the party cadre. Reporting from Lucknow, with camera person Shiv Kumar, I'm Kriti Mishra for Rajya Sabha Television.
Kriti Mishra, in fact, joining us now this evening from Lucknow. She's been, of course, tracking developments for the past few weeks now there. Kriti, like you were pointing out in your story, of course, at the moment there doesn't seem to be any option or any indication of any kind of a pact or a truce between both sides. That's what we've been talking about. Despite the fact that, Mulayam Singh has come out saying that Akhilesh is going to be the chief minister, he's in fact saying that that is the most he can do. And despite that, there's no reason why the party should not be united. What's the kind of indication you're getting from the Akhilesh camp?
Well, Tracy, the Samajwadi impasse is far from over. Mulayam Singh Yadav didn't say anything new. He was softer on his son and harsher on his brother. Meanwhile, Akhilesh's camp is busy crafting the election strategy. They're very meticulously planning how to go about the elections. So they're preparing their manifesto, trying to lure youth, trying to lure rural voters. They're also confident that Akhilesh would be able to traverse the caste-ridden labyrinth of UP politics. And in fact, a lot of election surveys have showed that Akhilesh is the most preferred choice for chief ministerial candidate for a chief minister's position. So, of course, Akhilesh's camp has also got a booster shot because of this. But make no mistake, Tracy, Mulayam is a very seasoned politician. So we do not know what his next move is going to be. He keeps his cards very close to the chest. So let's not be surprised if tomorrow we get a very startling announcement. Tracy?
Absolutely. And that is what we're actually anticipating as the lead up, of course, goes on to the Election Commission, the day when both sides, of course, have to pledge their case for the party symbol, of course. And that is going to be crucial with the election so close. In February is, of course, when it's going to be held, the first phase on the 11th. And, you know, you were talking about how Akhilesh's camp, his supporters, in fact, have been going around in different districts and talking about, you know, use of these smartphones. Is that going to come handy in a case of a new symbol?
Well, Tracy, Akhilesh's camp has 3 plans in mind. Plan A, to prepare the manifesto for all sections of the society. They might also come up with promises like something like what Tamil Nadu saw during Jayalalitha's reign about a lot of freebies. So they also have this in mind. Plan B is going to be alliance with the Congress, and Plan C is going to be alliance with smaller parties or even merger of smaller parties into the Samajwadi Party faction. They're also confident that if they get a new party symbol with the help of social media, they're going to get to the hinterland and they're going to get across to the voters, propagate the new symbol and also the new name. But experts say that it's not going to be cakewalk for Akhilesh.
Absolutely. And like you're pointing out, one of those points that you're pointing out as far as the plan of action goes is that alliance with the Congress. And today, of course, Rahul Gandhi at the Jan Vedna rally in the national capital, he did hint at something big that is going to happen in Uttar Pradesh that is really going to take the ruling party, the BJP, by surprise. Do you think this is something that they're working out on the sidelines, and keeping a close watch on how this Akhilesh and Mulayam drama unfolds?
Well, that's right. The strategy that they might adopt is enemy's enemy is going to be the friend. So BJP is the enemy. BJP's enemy is going to be Congress. And that's what they're thinking at this alliance, that they could just consolidate the voter base. And also what they're planning is that on a poster, if Akhilesh, Dimple, Rahul and Priyanka come together, it's going to create a different kind of stir.
Yes.
So they're also in talks with Jayant. So right now, these are all reports. When they're going to be confirmed, we do not know still. But definitely, Samajwadi Party is talking about alliance with Congress.
All right,
Tracy?
we'll leave it there for now. Thanks so much, Kriti Mishra, for joining us with those details. With that, let's take you through what else made news across the country today in Nationwide. Opposition disrupted proceedings of the Jammu and Kashmir Assembly and staged a walkout from the House. They are demanding the constitution of a judicial commission to probe deaths in Kashmir during the 5-month-long unrest. Opposition parties, including the National Conference and the Congress, rejected the announcement of Chief Minister Mehbooba Mufti for setting up of special investigation teams at district levels to probe such deaths. It was for the 4th day that the opposition held on to its demands. The cold wave tightened its grip across North India, with Delhi recording a minimum temperature of 4.2 degrees Celsius, 3 notches below the season's average. In Shimla, the death toll due to intense cold has risen to 10 as it recorded its season's lowest temperatures of minus 3.2 degrees. The Himachal Met Department also reported 85 centimeters of snowfall in Shimla on Wednesday and warned of the possibility of widespread snowfall across Himachal Pradesh on the 15th and 16th of January. Supreme Court today dismissed a PIL challenging the income tax exemptions granted to donations made to political parties. A bench comprising Chief Justice J.S. Khehar and Justice D.Y. Chandrachud said that the decision to grant IT exemptions is an executive action and did not violate any constitutional provision. As demands from various quarters continue to pour in for holding Jallikattu, Tamil Nadu Chief Minister O. Pannirselvam today reaffirmed the resolve of his government to conduct the bull taming sport. Pannirselvam also hit out at the DMK for its criticism of the ruling AIADMK on the matter. Portuguese Prime Minister Antonio Costa is on a two-day visit to Goa and met Chief Minister Lakshmikant Parsekar on Wednesday. Costa has roots in Goa, which remained under Portuguese rule for nearly 450 years. The Portuguese Prime Minister also held talks with the Chief Minister focusing on ties in tourism, science, oceanography, language and heritage. Costa will be visiting his ancestral home in Madgaon. We'll have a quick break here, but more national and international news follows in a bit. Stay with us.
You are still not seen as a heavyweight politician of the BJP.
I cannot be as effective as those people who have got 50 members or 30 members.
If you're not loud, you are not heard inside the assembly, you are not heard by the people.
Simply by shouting, the point is not driven home. The purpose of the reasoning, that is important.
People have already started saying that the party has not given you your due.
We have to bring in the younger people. The elder people will play their role.
Watch To The Point with the sole BJP legislator in Kerala Assembly, O. Raja Gopal, only on Rajya Sabha television.
Homai Vyarawala, better known by her pseudonym Dalda 13, was India's first woman photojournalist. Vyarawala entered the field of photojournalism in the late 1930s. For nearly 30 years till she retired in the early 1970s, at the peak of her career, she made a massive impact. Vyarawala clicked some iconic pictures of political and national leaders. Gandhiji, Nehru, Jinnah, Indira Gandhi have been subjects of her vast photographic collection. Prime Minister Nehru, she says, was her favourite. In 2011, Homai Vyarawala was conferred the Padma Vibhushan, the country's second highest civilian award.
Back. Let's get you some more national news. And India today criticized the United Nations Security Council, stating that it represents a small minority of the world's population. The remarks were made by India's permanent representative to the UN, Ambassador Syed Akbaruddin, at the council debate on Tuesday. Calling the Security Council frozen, India said only an updated and not an outdated global institution can be effective in addressing the current challenges of conflict prevention and sustaining peace. Akbaruddin said that if the 15-nation council has to make rules for the people and not just a small minority, it needs to adequately reflect new realities. He said that long-established states too are unable to fully respond to the new factors and forces being unleashed, and also charged that the established international order was being upended in terms of economic, political and technological shifts. Meanwhile, in the US, conceding disappointments during his presidency, yet offering vigorous encouragement for the nation's future, outgoing US President Barack Obama issued an emotional farewell address to the nation. Admitting candidly that political discourse has soured under his watch, Obama demanded that Americans renew efforts at reconciliation. Here's a report.
Michelle and I have been so touched by all the well wishes that we've received over the past few weeks. But tonight it's my turn to say thanks.
True to form, President Barack Obama capped his 8 years in office with a farewell speech that asked a polarized country to resist division and come together in a sense of common purpose.
The future should be ours. But that potential will only be realized if our democracy works. Only if our politics better reflects the decency of our people. Only if all of us, regardless of party affiliation or particular interests, help restore the sense of common purpose that we so badly need right now.
Obama made a case in defense of a policy legacy that is now at risk of piece-by-piece decimation. But he resisted calls to speak out directly against President-elect Donald Trump and his agenda, instead couching a warning about the fragile state of American democracy in his signature vocabulary of unity.
But that's what we did. That's what you did. You were the change. You answered people's hopes, and because of you, by almost every measure, America is a better, stronger place than it was when we started. In 10 days, the world will witness a hallmark of our democracy. No. The peaceful transfer of power from one freely elected president to the next. I committed to President-elect Trump that my administration would ensure the smoothest possible transition, just as President Bush did for me.
The speech acknowledged the unfulfilled hopes of some of the people who voted for him in 2008 and turned 8 years later to his antithesis. Obama noted the cynicism of the disappointment of people who believed his victory meant the end of racial division. He insisted, though, that the United States is still a country on the rise.
Our progress has been uneven. The work of democracy has always been hard. It's always been contentious. Sometimes it's been bloody.
Obama also paid an emotional tribute to First Lady Michelle Obama during his final address as president, calling her his best friend.
LaVaughn Robinson, girl of the South Side. For the past 25 years, you have not only been my wife and mother of my children, you have been my best friend. You took on a role you didn't ask for, and you made it your own, with grace and with grit and with style and good humor. You made the White House a place that belongs to everybody. And a new generation sets its sights higher because it has you as a role model.
The country's first black president, Barack Obama, now 55, was first elected in 2008 on a message of hope and change. His successor, Donald Trump, has vowed to undo some of Obama's signature policies. He will be sworn into office on 20th January. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And here are some more international news updates in Global Buzz. China's aircraft carrier today entered the Taiwan Strait, aggravating tensions between both sides. Seen as a show of strength by Beijing, Taiwan's defense ministry said that it has gone into an area covered by its air defense zone. Taiwan reportedly dispatched F-16 fighter jets and other aircraft last night to monitor the Chinese carrier crew. South Korea today alleged that North Korea had enough plutonium to make 10 nuclear bombs. The statement comes a week after leader Kim Jong-un had said that he was close to test launching an intercontinental ballistic missile. Seoul's defense ministry claimed that North acquired 50 kilos of weapons-grade plutonium by the end of 2016, which is up from 40 kilos 8 years ago and enough to make about 10 weapons. Dylan Roof has been sentenced to death for fatally shooting 9 African-American church members in June 2015. He is the first person to be executed for a federal hate crime in the US. A jury deliberated for about 3 hours before returning with a decision. Roof served as his own attorney during sentencing and never asked for forgiveness or mercy or explained the reason for the massacre. The death toll in the 2 large bombings near government offices in Kabul has risen to 50. According to authorities, a suicide bomber struck first, followed by a car bomb. Those killed include civilian and military personnel. It is being considered the deadliest attack by Taliban insurgents in the capital in months. And that's all we have for you on the news tonight from the entire team here. Good night.